What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now by the thumbnail of this video you can already see what bike I'm gonna do the weight and specs of. Now if you're new to this channel, there's a reason to stumble upon us, so hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on anything else we do. Now we do a bunch of these weight and specs videos. We do a bit of random reviews, how-to videos, and sometimes we just have a lot of fun on the bikes. Now this is a super cool bike, came into the shop, it's a client's bike, and I thought let me share you guys what the weight is on this bike, a few things that I like on this bike, and then a few things that I really don't like on this bike, and then just the overall specs and weight. So let's jump into this video then. Alrighty, so just to start off with this bike, super good looking bike. You can see the quality, and obviously always with your Scott bikes, great color quality, great paintwork, and I think this is more or less a theme for the last 2 years or so. You can see a lot of the bikes going with this gunmetal color, and then the small little accents of red or green, or in this case the neon yellow. And it's not a bad looking bike. Sometimes I feel it's a bit dull, the color, but obviously it's a new bike, and yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the gunmetal color. Like I said, there's a lot of bikes that's got this color at the moment. Maybe if this was a gloss finish it would have looked a bit better, but that's the one thing in my opinion. But still, nonetheless, great looking bike, quality bike, great build. You can see all the quality in this bike. Now let's start off with the frame on this bike. Now if you're looking at the frame, it's a 661 aluminium tapered headset. So in other words, it's tapered from the smaller bearing to the bigger bearing, giving it a little bit more stiffness, handle. It's just a few things that it improves on the bike. Not a lot of things, but just a few things. And then when we walk around this way, we can see that it's internal routing on this bike. So in other words, all the cables are running inside the frame, which makes it look just that much neater, and obviously everything's tucked away nicely. There's no rear shock on this bike. Alright, the suspension on this one, and this is one of the things that I really, also might say just now. Let's continue with what's on this bike. It's a SR Sunter XCR32RL coil spring remote lockout. So obviously it's got the remote lockout there on the top, which is quite nice. Suspension on the front. You've got your 12-speed groove set, which is very, very nice. It's the Shimano Dior, as you can see there, Shimano Dior 12-speed groove set. It's super cool looking. I must say the shape on these things are very nice. I wish you guys were here to see it in person. And I must say these guys, they let you know this is 12-speed. There's 12-speed on that. On the Dior shifter here in the front, you can see that they put the 12-speed there. So they make sure that you know these are 12-speed components that's on this. Nonetheless, the chainset on this Shimano FTM T511 with your 32 chainring at the front. Now most of the guys change this chainring almost immediately, just because it is very small, and well, except if you ride a lot of heavy cross-country riding and ups and downs, then you might stick with a 32, maybe a 32 oval, but most of the guys go up to a 34 or a 36 on this. But nonetheless, this is what it comes out with. Your chain, you've got your KMC X12 chain on there, which looks super cool. I like the black, and then the chrome color on these chains, they really just look good. Obviously we've got your Shimano Dior RD6100 and 12-speed rear derailleur, very, very nice looking. On this bike, the client's got a normal set of Shimano pedals on there. You've got your Synchros tubeless ready 32-hole Presto valve rims, very, very nice. And then obviously on this one you've got your rear boost hub. It's still quick release. I must say they're building the bike, they can just as well make it through axle. Most of the bikes are through axle these days, but obviously there's some money saving or price shaving on this, so that's why they still make it quick release. On the front and the rear, you've got your 180 disc brake at the front, and then the 160 rotor at the rear. Now both of these are center lock. If you're not sure what center lock is, in other words, they lock on in the center with a big center lock. Now if you look at something that's got 6 bolts, now that's your 6 bolts right there. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a 6-bolt rotor, and then obviously this is a center lock rotor. And then obviously you've got your 6061 aluminium Synchros bar stem handlebar, and seat post. You've got a very nice Synchros Velcara seat. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. It looks very well built. Like I said, the quality on this is very good, nice and soft, not too hard, not too soft. Quite a nice looking seat. Got your Recon Race 2.25 29-inch tires on this. Tubeless compatible. I've made some of these tubeless before and they worked out quite good. Now the one thing on this bike that you guys must know, and I didn't know this, you've got a weight limit on this bike of 128 kilograms overall on this bike. Now I'm not sure if that even includes the weight of the bike itself, but there's a weight limit on this bike that's 130 kilograms, and so make sure you don't go over that. Now let's get into the things that I like and then the few things that I don't like. Now there's a lot of things that I do like. Number one, these brakes are super cool, super nice, super sleek looking. I wish they would have put on the shorter lever on this one. It would have looked a lot nicer, but this is still great, still a 2-finger lever. You can still grab it with 2 fingers, maybe just move them in a little bit. Obviously the SR Santua suspension is not bad, but I'll get to that just now. The other thing is, this might have been black. I think this would have looked a little bit better. Obviously, if it was through axle, I think it would have looked a lot better. I'm not the biggest fan, like I said, of the coloring. Maybe if it was a gloss gunmetal color, it would have looked quite good, and then it would have been a silver or grey color, which is fine. So that's a few things that I don't like. And then the one thing that I really don't like on this bike, the money that you spend. In today's time, 1x12, tubeless ready, hydraulic brakes, you buy quite a nice bike, a great looking bike, internal cable routing, and you spend a bunch of money on this bike. Why will they put on a coil shock on this? Now if you listen to what I've told you guys about the shock, that it's a coil, then you've already known this, but this is just a preloaded coil fork. Now it's not a bad suspension, it's great quality. I just feel on something like this, throw on an air suspension. If you put that on there, I'm pretty sure a few bucks extra will make this bike a great value for money bike. Now it's a great bike up to a point, and then it's like, you're gonna have to replace that. So that's just my opinion. And yeah, so guys, that's the Scott Scale 980. Very nice bike. I think it's great value for money. I'm not sure what it will cost in all the countries. So I'm quickly gonna weigh this bike for you guys, and then we'll do some motivation afterwards. Alright, the weight's bobbing around a bit because the bike's still swinging a little bit. I've built bikes in the same category as this, Meridas, with your NX group sets on there, with the SX group sets on there. And I must say the weight is quite surprising, and I don't mean that in a very good way. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Scott bikes, and I've had a couple of them here that's built great. And then on this one, cool looking bike. Not my... I won't say this is my favorite color on the bike. It's not a bad looking bike. I think I'm just over all the matte bikes. Most of the bikes these days you see are matte color, and that's just my personal opinion. Now the weight on this one, they stopped just now. The weight on this bike, 14.09 kilograms. Now I must say, what's nice about this bike, usually when the guys do a weight and spec video, and that's something I try to stay away from, is then they do the weights and specs, but there's no pedals, no bottle cages, no sealants inside the bike, and that does make a difference. So this is get on and ride, pedals, bottle cage, sealant inside the wheels, 14.09 kilograms. So it's not bad, great value for money bike. Like I said, there's a few things I don't like. I love the way the group set looks. This is actually the first 1x12 Shimano bike that I've done a small little review or weight and specs on. So I must say, I enjoy the look of the Shimano. One nice thing that I forgot to tell you guys is you can use the shifter with your thumb going to your lighter gears, and you can use your thumb going to the lower gears, but you can use your finger as well. So you can basically have a shift like that, and then you can release it like that, or you can have a shift like that and then release it with your finger as well. So that's quite a nice thing I enjoy about Shimano, the one thing. But then, like I said, in these times, Shimano, SRAM, both of them are very good. So there's nothing wrong with the Shimano grip set. It's absolutely perfect. So guys, that's the Scott Scale 980. Quite a cool bike. I thought I'll share the weight and specs with you guys, and then I'll do some motivation just now. Hi guys, I always get I don't want to say sentimental about my motivation part, but I've stopped doing it for a while, and then there's more and more people asking for it, and I don't really know why, because I sometimes just feel that the motivation doesn't mean anything, but apparently there's a few guys that really enjoy the motivation. So for today's motivation, I'm going to keep it short and sweet, and I want to tell you guys one thing. We sit and we stress about problems of tomorrow and the day after that, and then we create scenarios where we solve these problems. And we do it in good ways, and we've got bad ways that it can go, and we try to see which way this problem can go, and then sometimes it never even happens. Now, I've been hearing this message quite a lot, and especially these last 3 or 4 days, almost the whole time, and it's different people saying it in different conversations. And I just feel that's meant for me then at the moment, and maybe it can mean something for you guys as well. Why do we worry about problems of tomorrow when we don't even know what's going to happen in the next minute, 5 minutes, 1 hour, or the next day? If you've got some financial problems, this is one of the biggest problems we've got at this point in life, or at this moment, especially with everything that's happened and still kind of bugging everyone. Why do we worry about that if we don't know what's going to happen the next minute or the next day? You can get the big increase, someone can write off the debt, or the problem you have can maybe be solved without any issues. So I want to encourage you guys, when you get to a point, for example, I'll make myself a cup of coffee, or I'll just go outside and look at the sun a little bit, or the sky, and just sit in the sun. Don't look at the sun, it's not very good for your eyes. I'll sit in the sun a bit, and then just breathe and relax and tell myself that everything will be alright. Even though the moment I say it, I've got this feeling inside me that I need to do something to fix it. We can't always do something to fix it. We need to let things happen the way it should, and we need to do it the best way that we can. We can try to solve the problem, but we don't have to sit and worry about it. Guys, life's too short. We need to enjoy ourselves. We need to live. So take a deep breath. Take a step back, maybe look at the problem from a different angle, make yourself a cup of coffee, and try not to worry about something that might not even happen. Let's put the creating scenarios and fixing them in a dream world which doesn't even exist. Let's put it aside and live for today, live for the moment that we've got now, and make the moment that we've got the best one. So guys, be strong, stay safe, and never say never.